Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the new best Electro Giant deck in Clash Royale. After the Golden Knight got nerfed, he got put out of business, and the Queen has regained her throne. I asked one of the best Electro Giant players in the game, Professor Live, and he said this was the deck to play. Golden Knight costs the same amount as Dark Prince, but you have to pay 1 elixir when you want to splash onto all their units. And it's such a sad panda moment when your opponent spams a lot of bait cards and you have only 1 ability. And putting in Dark Prince gives you room to put in the overpowered Archer Queen. Her 1 elixir ability farms a ton of positive elixir trades. Another benefit of Dark Prince is you can push your Electro Giant away from buildings. If you drop your Dark Prince here and the Electro Giant here, it does a small push that will make sure the Electro Giant bypasses buildings. Their precise placements that would typically pull will lose them the game instantly. And if you don't have Queen, use Baby Dragon. Or you can swap out Archer Queen for Mother Witch and Inferno Dragon for Phoenix. It's time to shock all of our opponents and assert dominance. Lots of love to everyone that's using credit code SirTag to make all of the daily videos possible. To jump into the game against someone with one of the most complicated names I've ever seen. He's got a clan name, he's got a divider, and then he's got a second part to his name with a whole bunch of symbols afterward. I wonder what that symbolizes. So he's going to go in for minions and a miner. Okay, so I would like to go and push our Electro Giant past the building, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe the Dark Prince can jump over and force out an early Archer Queen ability, and it does. Is it going to finish off the Archer Queen? Come on, Dark Prince, I believe in you. I know you can accomplish this. Come on, let's go. So we're currently in a pretty good spot because Electro Giant is able to zap the tower for some nice damage as well. And I'm looking at the game, and I want to activate King Tower with a cannon and then using a tornado afterward. Hopefully this works out. I've done it before, so hopefully it doesn't fail me again. We are going to go in for the tornado after the cannon expires, and we will activate King Tower with the Mega Knight, right? Yes, sir! So we took a ton of damage from the wall breakers on the right-hand side, but that's not really that big of a deal. We can go on the same side as the Mega Knight every single time, because Mega Knight doesn't have very many good answers to your Electro Giant. If they've got something like Inferno Dragon, you tornado it in. If they've got Archer Queen or Musketeer, you just lightning it. So it's a big vibe to be able to defend the tower that they've already done a lot of damage to, and all their supporting cards like goblins, guards, bats, they get eviscerated by Electro Giant, so it's a good time. So we can maybe go for the Dark Prince in front of the Electro Giant. I don't know how smart this is, but I assume it's probably okay because you keep the Electro Giant healthy, and then your Electro Giant will hopefully give you more value. Even if the Phoenix ends up dying, we can push back the Queen, and then we can tornado it in and get a lot of value. So the Queen is going to finish herself off, and we can zap the tower. And notice how all the units that you used on defense just die. That's the power of Electro Giant. With Electro Giant, and it eliminates your opponent's defending cards, and it gives you damage at the same time. It's a reason why it's one of the strongest cards in Clash Royale when played correctly. You just need to find a way to break through your opponent's buildings, or get lucky and play against someone without a building like a Mega Knight player. So we're going to go and drop our Bomber immediately, and then I'm going to Electro Giant in the corner because I know that the Bomber is going to finish off the one wall breaker on the right-hand side, the only wall breaker that matters. I'm sorry, wall breaker on the left. I don't care about you. You weren't going to do anything to me anyway. We're going to Dark Prince because it's got a juicy shield, and then we can go in for a cannon here, and then I think I might be able to defend with a Phoenix and a tornado. So if you guys didn't know this, the Phoenix is going to do death damage, so it should be able to finish off the minions with tornado correctly. So I'm going to have to go in for a Bomber here so then the Prince doesn't do too much damage to me, and then I can go in for a Dark Prince afterward. So I think one of the wall breakers will connect, but that's not terrible to me. And notice how the Electro Giant just goes unimpeded. Our opponent doesn't even know how to counter it, so he's like, yo, I'm just going to spam everything I have because that's my only option, Jake. And you know what? We have an option of just dropping the Archer Queen ability and eviscerating everything you got. Notice how we can tornado it all back and plan a pretty perfect defense out here. Wait, is he just letting the Electro Giant get near his 3 crown? Like, is that what he has to do right now? That was a ridiculous game. Because with your electrifying offense, you put every Mega Knight to shame. No matter what Mega Knight deck you're playing against, there's literally 0 defense available for them. Yo, this guy finished 971 in the world. Let's have a bit of a challenge right now. So I'm excited to figure out what his deck is. Usually top ladder players are running like Minor Poison or a fast cycle deck with Hog Rider. Oh, dude, my long lost brother, my evil brother running Royal Recruits and it's cycling to first play. That's one of the no-nos when you're running Royal Recruits. What if your opponent's got like, you know, an ample amount of splash damage like Valkyrie and Bomb Tower and you just waste your recruits at the start? I guess he doesn't care. Usually when I run Royal Recruits, I cycle Zappies or something, or I cycle like cheaper cards. Unfortunately for us, the Rail Recruit's locked into my tower. I totally thought I was going to pull that with the cannon. I guess I dropped the cannon slightly further up. It's totally fine, though. We can Tornado on top of the Mother Witch, and I think that's worthwhile, because otherwise I'm pretty sure that the Mother Witch is going to give him Pig, and I get nothing in return. I also have Bomber, and I've got Dark Prince for the Royal Hog, so I'm not near as scared. If you guys are unfamiliar, usually Electro Giant gets hard countered by Royal Hogs every game, especially when you have Golden Knight. But because you've got Dark Prince, you have a more fair chance of winning. It's not a great chance of winning still, but it is significantly better. So that's why Dark Prince is way better in this deck than Golden Knight, especially after the Golden Knight nerf. But you have a better matchup against Goblin Drill, and you have a significantly better matchup against Royale Hogs, which are top ladder decks that a lot of pros prefer to play. So I'm going to Electro Giant in the back. His Fisherman's out of cycle. I expect him to probably not have a building in this deck, and if he does, he might have a Goblin Cage, which I should be able to Lightning. Oh, let's go. I'm really stoked for this one. Also, in the later stages of the match, Rail Recruits don't do so well into Electro Giant if you're able to stack up a lot of stuff, because the Rail Recruits are going to congregate on both sides. So if you can finish off the other side with maybe just like a bomber, and then you just pile on a lot of splash damage on one side, the recruits get overwhelmed. Also, I love that the recruits are still stockpiling on the Archer Queen, then they go back towards the Electro Giant, and then they have to go back towards the Archer Queen. It's a roundabout circus ride that this man probably didn't want to be on. Okay, so since we have Cannon here, I'm going to drop that right now, and I'm going to go for Tornado after he breaks through. So I will be able to activate King Tower and minimize the amount of damage that I take. I'm not going to drop it super soon. I'm just going to wait for the Royal Hogs to be within vicinity. We take no damage on our tower. Let's freaking go. So we know that he's going to have Fisherman in his deck. So I'm going to gear up for a great Lightning on top of the Fisherman when he drops it. I want to be able to afford this. I don't know if I can. I mean, it's double elixir. I should be able to. I should be able to hit the Fisherman and also hit the Hunter. I think I can. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. His body wasn't ready. I knew it. I prepared for it. And I mentally calculated, hey, this is the only card that he has in his deck. I like how I said, like, mentally calculated to be pretentious and just be like, yo, guys, I'm so sophisticated. But in reality, it was a really easy play. You just memorize your opponent's card cycle, know that they've only got that one card, and then you prepare for it. And you can use Tornado or you can use Lightning. Both of them work in that situation. And we just made a top 900 player in the world completely rage quit. This matchup for him should be pretty okay, too. I mean, Rail Recruits usually really good against Electro Giant, but when you have Dark Prince, Tornado, and Bomber, you're going to flip the matchup in your favor. That top-ranked player just got fish slapped. Yo, this guy's got the animated monk banner. What's up, man? We're dropping a good luck, and we're figuring out which a deck is. So first things first, we're just going to go for the Bomber in the back, and I don't want to do any crazy attack right now because Electro Giant is all about building up Elixir advantage and then throwing your Electro Giant at your opponent. Or if they don't have a building that you can just win the game immediately, this guy's going to have Electro Dragon, and he's also going to have Freeze, and he's probably going to end up having like that obnoxious Lumberjack Balloon Freeze deck. So I'm going to go in for the Archer Queen here on the left-hand side, and I could activate King Tower with his Bowler. I think that might be worth it if he's running Graveyard. Okay, I'm just going to go for a Cannon here. I should be able to pull the Balloon afterward, so I think this will be well worth of the Elixir investment. So I'm hoping he tornadoes or he goes in for a freeze or overcommits like crazy. He's not going to do it. Ah, man, you had one job. I dropped my Phoenix really far away, so I was trying to get him to go in for the freeze anyway. Great tornado on his end, pulling back our Archer Queen so we didn't get as much damage as we were hoping for, but we're still in a pretty good spot. Okay, so we're going to blast back the Inferno Dragon for a short period of time. We're not going to get the Phoenix to resurrect here, but still a pretty good situation. So if we're playing against someone with an Inferno Dragon deck, usually they're going to have Freeze with Balloon, and they're going to try to fry our Electro Giant utilizing the Freeze with Inferno Dragon. And they're going to try to bait out my Tornado with the Inferno Dragon because they want me to Tornado it in, so then they can go for a Balloon, and then I won't have a good response to the Balloon. But my game plan is to hold my Phoenix, or my Cannon, or my Lightning to finish off the Balloon in that situation. So his Inferno Dragon, again, is out of cycle. I don't think he has a good answer to Electro Giants at the river when his Inferno Dragon is out of cycle. So I'm going to test him and see what happens. Should be pretty fun. Also, if you guys are unfamiliar with this type of matchup, one of the best things to do is Lightning on top of the Electro Dragon. It's a -1 trade, and you get a ton of damage. So I'm going to try to go in for Lightning if he drops anything else nearby. Or I could just Tornado. I think, yeah, I'm going to Lightning because he decided to go for a freeze. I should be able to keep the Phoenix and the Electro Giant alive in double Elixir. And single Elixir, it's going to stay alive and give me a little bit of damage, but I'm hoping for a lot more because I'm a greedy player. You guys know me. Oh my gosh. 0 HP, and it almost took out the entire tower. I thought that I was going to have to wait until double Elixir. This deck's strength is really surprising me. I copied it off one of the best Electro Giant players in the entire world, and it is not disappointing me. There's a reason he runs this deck. He's going to Tornado that back, so I'm not going to click the Archer Queen ability immediately, because I saw him do it the first time. I'm like, you know what? My programming is adapting to your plays, man. I'm not falling for your trap card too many times, Yugi boy. I'm going to go in for the Cannon here, and then I think I can go in for a Lightning depending on what happens. He might go for a freeze, and I think it's better for me to just Tornado, actually. Tornado should finish everything off, and I'll spend less Elixir anyway, so that's more of a vibe for me. Phoenix resurrects as well. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. I am getting preposterous value here, and it's not even stopping now. because we can lightning on the Electro Dragon and finish off the tower too. He's saying good luck. Honestly, I had a pretty good matchup there, but yeah, easy win. Ridiculously easy stuff, and Electro Giant simply can't be stopped. At least in matchups where your opponent doesn't have buildings, you just stampede through and there's nothing they can do. Yo, we got a game against Zohan. He finished 806 in the world. Let's go. So he's obviously going to be really good at the game. We have to focus up. I'm going to go for Archer Queen in the back because I've got Tornado and I've also got Phoenix in my hand. So I feel compelled to be able to defend whatever he throws at me. You know, I feel okay dropping an Archer Queen in the back. Oh no, dude, no, don't do this. Don't have Elixir Collector. That's not a building that I like seeing. It gives you a +1 Elixir trade every single time I lightning it. Oh, dude, why are you trolling me? You barely get any extra elixir from that. You're not even defending the Archer Queen, and you're an 800 in the world player. Like, what? Excuse me, sir? Do you realize that that's damage on your tower that you probably should respond to? You wild child, you have to be Elixir Golem. You have to be Elixir Golem. There's no doubt in my mind that he's got Golem or Elixir Golem. Okay, there it is. There it is, guys, and its final form. Pure Elixir Golem bliss. So hopefully we can mess this up real fast. Ideally, what we do is we go in for a cannon and we separate all of his stuff away from the Elixir Golem so we can shred the Elixir Golem with our cannon and then make sure that his dragons and all of his other stuff ideally will fall later on with our splash damage and maybe our Phoenix and stuff like that. We want to go Archer Queen ability and melt it real fast by making sure that the healer is separated away from the Elixir Golem itself. If the Elixir Golem is with a battle healer and you try to kill it all together, what happens is they never die because the battle healer just heals up the Elixir Golem blobs. But if you separate their stuff, then it's real tough for them to ever break through. The cannon kills the Elixir Golem. It gives you elixir, and then you have enough elixir to make a meaningful presence. I'm going to click the Archer Queen ability because I thought he would drop something directly on top, but he didn't. Really interesting to see that. I'm going to go in for a lightning on top of Elixir Collector. These Elixir Golem players, even when they're ranked like some of the highest ranked players in the world, they are just built different. They don't really understand how to defend their towers. They go all in all the time. I bet you goes Elixir Golem in the back right now, so I'm going to go in for Electro Giant at the river. Oh, I thought he would. It was a pretty smart decision of him to not do that for once. So he's got 2 battle healers. That's a huge problem for me because we aren't able to kill the battle healers, I don't think. Maybe they do die eventually. Okay, one of them has to die to this. One of them has to die to the Electro Giant. Please, just die to the Electro Giant. Dude, that's really rough. All right, we're going to be able to go in for a cannon to pull that as far as possible. I'm going to lightning on top of his Electro Dragon, ideally. We can hit that. That's awesome. Nice. Notice how I didn't hit the Elixir Golem and I hit the Dragon. At least I don't think I hit the Elixir Golem. That was my intention. And then we can follow up with an Electro Giant right in the face of all of his stuff. And if we can keep the Archer Queen alive, then that's our chance to win. That is the only thing I care about is keeping the Queen alive and then doing the most optimal cannon placement to pull the Elixir Golem as far as possible. All right, cool. So that should put us in a position where we can go for another Electro Giant at the river. We've got an Archer Queen still alive, giving us a 3-card card cycle, so we can get back to the Electro Giant even faster. And this is a huge disaster for my dude. There is no way for him to stop us, and he is laughing. And that's what we love to see, destroying a top leaderboard toxic Elixir Golem player. The man left with laughter, but you just know he was crying in the inside. Yo, this guy finished 313 in the world. Let's go. You guys know the deal. Whenever we're playing against a good player, we're going to wait and see if they want to make the first play. He's going to have Royal Ghost, so maybe it's going to be a P.E.K.K.A deck. There's a chance it's going to be 3 Musketeers. I don't know what he's packing, so I just want to play safe. So I'm going to go for the Dark Prince now, and it should be able to finish off the Royal Ghost. And I'm looking at the situation, and I'm totally expecting P.E.K.K.A. And if we're playing against a P.E.K.K.A deck, I think the matchup gets a lot better for us the later the match gets. I'm going to Lightning so we can guarantee the Magic Archer dies. I'm going to force out either an Electro Wizard or a P.E.K.K.A or something on top of this. I need P.E.K.K.As. I'm going to Battle Ram. Okay, my bad. That was a huge waste. I should have dropped the Archer Queen ability slightly later. It's fine, though. We did end up killing the Battle Ram, but I think I could have gotten a little bit more from my Archer Queen there. So in this matchup, whenever we get a bit of an advantage, like that lightning damage that we had, that's pretty pivotal in securing the win. If our opponent doesn't have any sort of way of coming back and getting direct damage on my tower, and the game ends, I just win. So that's kind of what we're hoping for here. Also, we can Electro Giant to finish off the Royal Ghost and also finish off his Mother Witch. Ooh. Super interesting for him to have Cannon Cart. So I'm going to Tornado that in immediately just to make sure that we can finish off the Cannon Cart so the Electro Giant can reflect back on that and then also get some nice tower shots as well. So I'm looking at the game and I'm loving what we're seeing. We are currently in a position where we up a ton of damage, 1,200 to be in fact, and then also taking no damage on our tower so far. I'm going to go for a cannon just to pull the Battle Ram for +1 elixir advantage. Take a -1 trade against the bandit. Ooh, no, that Heal Spirit was really scary for a second. I was like, yo, I saw my life flash before my eyes with that mobile Pokemon Center. He healed that thing up. I could have been screwed. That was a smart decision. Wasn't exactly executed the way he wanted it to be, though. All right, so do we go Archer Queen? I think Archer Queen is probably the play. Doesn't seem like he has anything besides Magic Archer, and if he goes Magic Archer, we want to Tornado it, so then it's going to be off to the side, so it can't hit the Archer Queen. I'd rather do that instead of going invisible. Also, I'm pretty sure that the Archer Queen wins that interaction, so there's no need for us to go invisible immediately. I'm going to do that right about as his tower is about to hit it. All right, we can go for a Lightning as well on top of the Bandit and the Battle Ram as well. Oh, let's go. He wasn't ready. He thought that was going to tank, and he ended up tanking a lot of Elixir down the drain. Okay, we can go Heal Spirit counter with the Dark Prince really far away, so the Heal Spirit doesn't jump on the Barbarian. Notice how he just wasted the Barbarian there. Okay, we can go for a Phoenix. Pretty confident this is the right decision. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe it's the right play. Yes, he just lost a cannon card too! Dude, this guy must be amazingly tilted right now. He's a top 300 player. Holy heck. Wait, we can Tornado the Mother Witch away so we don't have to worry about that? I think that's just way better, because then the Mother Witch doesn't even do damage on top of the Electro Giant too. We can go for another Lightning? I think this game is black and blue for our dude. Whoa, dude, we ended up hitting the Battle Ram too! I love that the Barbarians squaddled their way back towards the Electro Giant. We're like, wait, did we miss something? Are we supposed to clean that up? That was crazy value. Okay, so we can go in for a Dark Prince here. It should be able to splash onto both things at once, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. I'm going to go in for a cannon just for good measure, and then I might be able to activate King Tower with this one Bandit, so I'm going to go and roll with that and see if that works out. Nope, didn't matter. The Archer Queen takes the tower too. I wasn't even trying to win right there, and this guy is supremely salty dropping the CRL emoji. When people lose to Electro Giant, there isn't a single person in the world that's happy, except the Electro Giant player themselves. That pro was in Limit Esports, and there wasn't a limit to his saltiness. And honestly, you can't blame him. Electro Giant is a dirty deck that's incredibly strong. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an incredible rest of your day.